Hi, everybody. So are you guys looking to sell your home in 2020?
If you are, we have got a checklist for you to make sure that you are feeling confident, to make sure that you know what to expect, and that the process is going to be as easy as pie.
Yep. Ooh, I like that. Thanksgiving reference.
Oh, you see what I'm doing there?
Awesome. So welcome to Friday with Friends.
Friday with Friends is our opportunity to talk about what's going on in the market so that if you or anyone you know has any real estate needs, we would love the opportunity to be your realtor of choice.
Awesome. So yes, 2020
Yes.
is coming. End of a decade.
And we have been able to help so many buyers and so many sellers this year. Actually, we will help over 200 clients this year, which is incredible. And the reason why I share that is because we have narrowed down the top steps that you need to be taking if you want to sell your home in 2020. We have 2 additions. So coming to you next week is going to be New Year, New Home Buyer's Edition. And this one today is New Year, New Home Seller's Edition. So whether you fall into both categories, whether you want to sell and you don't need to purchase, or whether you want to buy and you don't have to sell, find which one's going to be right for you. But we have something really exciting and special about today.
So exciting.
Take it away.
We are giving away a checklist, a freebie. So if you don't want to listen to our beautiful voices, or you can't have the volume on at work, or you have a friend that's looking to sell and you want to just send this directly to them, we are going to have a checklist of the top 4 things that should be on your to-do list if you want to sell in 2020.
Yes. So nice and easy. So let's get right into it.
Easy peasy. Let's do it. So number 1 is understand your motivation. Why do you want to sell?
Yes.
And that's so important because there's so many different reasons, and it could be as easy as I just want to sell. I just want to buy a new house.
Yes.
Or it could be something much more, serious, or saying I need to do this because of. And it's understanding what that is that's super important.
And digging deeper into this motivation. So it's not just I have a new job. So there's a variety of reasons that you move, but it's really understanding what about that new job is the motivation for you to sell. Is it the commute? Is it that you financially can afford it? Is it that you financially no longer can afford it? Is it you have changed, your heart's changed and you no longer want to be spending that much money on your house? Is it your heart's changed and you're ready to expand?
Yeah.
So it's not just this surfacey motivation that we're talking about. It's, there's a lot of different reasons, but really get into it. What about the move is important to you? What about making this move is important to you?
Yep, and why? And there's so many, as you said, there's so many different reasons. It could be that, also you're getting to the point where you want some single floor living. The stairs just are too much and you want to make that decision early on. So really starting to think and understand that motivation is so important because it allows us to help understand your timeline too.
Yes.
If you say, I want to be in a different school district.
Yes.
Just made that up. And I want to be in by the start of the school, which is September. Okay, a standard closing is 60 days. We need to work backwards so you're in by September or August.
Yes. Or it could be, like we were talking about financially, it could be that you're just changing how you're approaching the debt in your home. Or it could be that there was an inheritance. There are so many different reasons, but what about that is important?
For sure.
The more that you can answer that question, what is your motivation? Why do you want to sell? That is going to give us the information that we need so that we can create the best game plan for you. So even if you think it's surfacey, what about that is important?
Yeah.
That's the question I want you guys to answer.
Yeah, for sure. And also, there could be someone that's just as simple as, I want a new house.
Yes. It does not have to be fancy.
It does not have to be right. And some people say, I've been here for 5 years. I've renovated it. I've done all the things that I wanted to do, and now I want something different.
You don't know what else to do when you putter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can't touch any more of this house. I've done it all, and I'm ready for something new. That's okay, too.
Yes.
It's just sitting in that and understanding this is what I want.
I love it. I love it. So
Awesome.
number 2, go deep on your motivation. Understand why do you want to be
Number
selling.
1.
Number 1. That was number 1.
She's getting so excited, guys.
Hi, everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, number 2, Mandy's favorite, understanding your numbers.
It is, hi, Lisa. It is so important to understand what selling your home right now looks like. And it's not just what can I get for my house. It's if I get X amount, what will I be able to walk away with?
For sure.
So many times people don't understand the costs, the standard costs that are associated with selling your house. Like title, like survey, like your attorney fees, like transfer tax. All of those
transfer
things.
tax.
Transfer tax. But really, we are here not just to be able to say, okay, this is what you're going to be getting for your home, but we're saying this is what you want to, this is what you're going to be walking away with. So understanding the costs associated with selling your home.
For sure.
You could say, hey, before we sell our house, we may need to get carpet, and we'll go into that more, but do we have money to play with, or is this going to be a really tight move to make it happen?
Yes, for sure. And that's why a lot of people say, okay, well, I bought my house for $150 and I could probably sell it for $200, but they don't understand they probably understand their mortgage has gone down.
Yes.
So that's immediate. And what their mortgage payoff is kind of an obvious, okay, this is what you would need to pay back to the bank. But there's a lot of other fees, the survey, the title, things like that.
Closing costs.
Yes, that you want to look at. So what we do is we really break all of those numbers down for you to say, okay, this is what you would actually walk away with that you can put into your pocket, pay off debt, put into a next house, whatever it might be.
So understanding your numbers, the key thing that you can do to start is to identify what you currently owe on your home. And that can be where you can go with it. And then as we start getting into number 3, the third piece, that's when we'll be able to dig into more of what you're going to walk away with.
Yeah,
but you really do need to, when you're talking about your numbers, not just what you owe on the house, but are you in a place, are you in a comfortable spot where what do I need? What is my intention to get out of this sale? Do I expect to get a profit? And if so, how much? What is the range that I want to get? Or if so, is saying, listen, I'm willing, if you're in a tough spot, is there some sort of like amount that I'm going to have to take a hit and be okay with? So those are all decisions and the realities, and that's why we want you to get really clear on your numbers from the get-go. And that's number 2.
For sure. And that's, you sparked something in my mind.
That's just what we do.
That's what we do here. Is that if you're clear on your numbers, then you can really set your timeline and kind of your motivation if you go back to number 1. Because if you say, my goal is to get X out of this house. I've put in work, I've lived here for a few years, and if I make X, I can go and buy that new house. And then if we look at the numbers and say, okay, yes, that's realistic, amazing, let's do it. Or actually, I think we need to, maybe wait until you pay a little bit more off or something like that. Then we can set that timeline.
Yes.
Or if you say, okay, I need to save more, we can make that timeline too. So if you start now, then you're educated on what we need to do to get there.
I love it.
Awesome.
So number 2 is really understanding your numbers. Number 3,
you can talk about this.
Right, because it's your specialty. I'll give you a quick overview.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
So number 3 is the listing consult.
Yes.
So when you are going into the listing consult with understanding your motivation and understanding your numbers, that is going to prepare you to get the most out of that listing consult, aka seller's consult, aka seller's appointment. It's basically when
hanging out with Abby.
You're hanging out with someone from our team, aka Abby, that is coming in to meet with you to discuss selling your home.
For sure.
And so what happens then?
So what we always say, you'll hear us say it probably 14 times throughout this Friday with Friends, is it's never too early to start.
Yes.
I just met with a client of ours who said, I'm probably like 2 years out, and that's okay because as you can see, there's so much education that we want to happen on your numbers, on the whole process as well, that it's never too early to start there. So what we typically like to do is, again, talk about your motivation, your timeline, things like that. We go through the house. What's really important about this tour is that we can start to create a to-do list.
Yes.
And this time of year, since a lot of people are saying I'm selling in the spring or whatever it might be, this is an awesome time to start. So we can say, okay, let's touch up paint here. Let's paint these moldings. We're gonna declutter this. Declutter is my favorite word. I should get it on a shirt.
You should.
That'll be my Christmas. You can buy me that. I just asked for my own present, which I've actually already done. But anyway, so we can really start to identify what needs to be done to get top dollar for your home. And I will put that all in a beautiful list for you.
And so often when we are meeting, especially Abby's meeting with sellers, the sellers already come with your to-do list. Like you are like, these are the things I think that I need to be doing. And this is an important time for us to say, hey, listen, we know the market very well. This, not important. Buyers do not care about that. Investing time, money, energy is not worth it.
So
These
important.
are the things. So it's a prioritizing of the things that we know are important, the things that you already have on your radar, and really taking out the ones that are not worth putting on a honey-do list at all.
For sure. And I would say that's probably more common than not, is people come in with a big list of what they think they need to do. And I always say to them, you've lived here for 7 years, 10 years, fill in the blank. You've seen your house every single day. So you're going to notice the things that you might not like about it more than a brand new, first-time home buyer. So really prioritizing that to say, you're going to get a return on investment for A, B, and C, maybe not, X, Y, and Z or something like that. So prioritizing that list is so important. And when we're on that tour, that's also when we're going to be able to talk about your house, and you can give us the, all of the details of, we redid this bath in 2018, we added all of the flooring, and we really go through everything that you've done in the house as well at that point too.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And what that allows us to do next is identify and provide you with a market analysis. And this really connects back to number 2 and knowing your numbers and what your home is worth. Now, of course, if you're saying I want to buy in 2 years, the market's always changing, but this will give you a really good idea of, if I were to put my house on the market tomorrow, this is what we'd be looking to get.
And that range is so important. You can see, has my neighborhood gone up? Has it gone down? And this market analysis, it's just a starting point for us to be having these conversations, to not challenge your numbers, but if you're saying, listen, this is what I think I'm walking away with, we can give you confidence and say, yes, this is what you can expect. And then you can make decisions based off of that.
Exactly. That's why it's never too early to start. Again, if you were to say, okay, my goal is to get X, and if I add granite or a backsplash or replace the carpet, and we'll talk about that, then we can push the bar price-wise, or we'll tell you the opposite as well. We'll have those conversations so you know exactly what to do to get, the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, and again, when we know your motivation, if your motivation is time, motivation is whatever it will take so that I have the least amount of time that I have to take my kids out of the house, whatever it will take for me to get the most amount of money. When we are clear on your motivation, we can help prioritize these things to say, listen, it's going to take an extra month, but you will be able to see this return on it. Whereas there's people that say that's not important to me, it just needs to get sold now. Yep. So that is why. Do you see where we're going with
that? 1, 2, and 3 kind of match. Perfect. And that's so important. So that's where we can really sit down at number 3, our listing consultation, talk about your motivation, your timeline, the to-do list, the market analysis, your numbers, all of that good stuff. So when we leave, we know exactly what our game plan is, and we feel ultra confident in that too.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so
I love listing consultations. I'm sorry, I got a little excited on that one.
It's so good though. but you need that. There's such value in that time, and it's so important to make sure we're using it as much as we can, so that basically it's this education process. It's making that game plan, so it's not like, guys, we all know what it's like when we have everything over our head being like, shoot, what's next? This is literally this. Which brings us to number 4. Which we kind of hinted at already.
We did. I did. I just get so excited sometimes. Is creating that to-do list.
It's not just creating that to-do list. It's understanding that to-do list.
Prioritizing.
Yes. And if there are things on there that require outside work, that's what we are here for. I'm not coming in and doing your roof, but our team, we have affiliate connections that we can help with painters, with general contractors, with all of those things.
Electricians,
we
plumbers.
can say, okay, your house we've got 2 months to get it all prepped and ready to go. Let's put this to-do list into action. What do you want to do? How can we connect you with affiliates, etc.?
And imagine, guys, put yourself in your future self's position. Wouldn't you rather have 2 months to prep your house for sale than a week? And that's why it's never too early. So what we'll do is we'll talk about, okay, in a perfect world, this is what we would have done prior to putting your house on the market to get top dollar. We help with the contractors and things like that, but we're also going to prioritize it to say, this is the most important. This is still important, but it's not going to be the most critical thing that we need to do to get your house ready.
And we've also had situations where we've said, listen, this bathroom really needs some loving. Let's bring in a contractor and we'll get a quote. And we will say, say if it is more than $2,000, it is not worth the investment. But if it is less than $2,000, we're going to be able to get a $5,000 return on it. We believe that this is going to enhance the resale, so we want you to do it. So it's not always this is what you're doing, this is what we advise. It's we can help navigate the numbers that are coming back and really be your partner as you are putting this to-do list in place.
And you know what else is, I do like a good DIY. So a lot of times it won't be, all right, we got to get a contractor in here. It'll be, what if we paint the vanity and, paint the tile on the bathroom? It's possible, guys. Message me. I'll send you a link. What if we do really just a little bit of sweat equity? We put $100 into the paint, change out the knobs on the bathroom cabinet, and we're good to go.
We've got some amazing before and afters on
that. So there's so many different ways to go about it where we don't need to rehab and gut the entire bathroom or kitchen, for example. We can just do little things that make such a big difference.
Yes.
So that's what we'll really go through, and we'll all give you the best advice to say, yes, we need this higher level bathroom, or let's just make it look pretty.
and that's when we understand your motivation and we understand your numbers, we know, are you the kind of person that says, I'll pay, it just needs to get done, or will you say, no, this is exactly the way it is, and I do not want to invest. You get to decide. You are in the driver's seat. Our job is to educate you and to support you through the process and get you the most amount of money for your home, but we're also there to meet your goals. And if you want to sell your home quick, we will cater all of this around that.
Exactly. Great point. And at this point, we'll also... You did, and now I'm just going to bring us back in. No, I'm just kidding. So what we also like to do here is talk a little bit about the staging process.
Oh, yeah.
You need to talk about it.
We need to talk about it.
If you're 2 weeks, a week, a month from listing your house, I'm going to say this is exactly what we need to do. If you're a year out, we're going to be more broad of, okay, we're going to declutter this space. I would say we remove this piece of furniture. We might be a little bit more broad about it because you have to live there for the next year.
Exactly.
And we want you to be comfortable. But we'll also send you our staging tips as well. And then as we get closer, that's when we'll really dig into the staging, because you don't want to live in a staged house.
Right. The way you sell your home is different than the way you live in it. And that's just the reality of it. But you can start thinking about it. Let's say you're looking for a piece of furniture. Well, now when you go to, TJ's and Home Goods or West Elm or wherever you shop, like wherever you're shopping, you're keeping those, okay, well, I really need that bench for the front of my home. Or I really want to change out this couch. And it's not all at once. And maybe you could even enjoy some of the changes that you're doing.
A nice new carpet, maybe.
Rug, lamps. Rugs and lamps change everything. Okay,
awesome.
Wow. So guys, remember, this was a lot of information. We have our 4 key steps if you are looking to sell in 2020 or even 2021. But what we're talking about is we have these 4 steps that we put into a downloadable checklist.
Don't worry.
So message us for it. We will leave a comment with the link below once we get it. So you will be able to have free access to this, so that whether it's something you want to be working off of personally or whether it's something you want to be sending over to somebody else, we want to make it as easy for you to feel confident going into the new year if selling a home is on your radar.
Perfect. So number 1, understand your motivation. Number 2, understand your numbers, and we have all of these things.
Yep. Number 3 is schedule a listing consult with your agent. Hopefully we would love the opportunity to help, but make sure you're meeting and you're understanding about numbers. You're feeling educated and confident on the process in your specific timeline.
Exactly. And then number 4, when we're at that listing consult and after, really identifying that to-do list and prioritizing it. And of course, with our team, we help with contractors, DIY tips, all of that good stuff to make it as easy as possible.
I love it. Well, thank you for tuning in to Friday with Friends. Friday with Friends is our opportunity to talk about what's going on in the market and to be here as your realtor of choice. If you have any questions or any real estate needs, we would love the opportunity to serve you. So find us online, www.friendonyourside.com, or of course you can find us on our Facebook page. And if you want this information, please be sure to message us or click the link below and we can give you this free downloadable checklist so you can feel all set up for selling your home. New year, new home, Sellers Edition.
Buyers Edition coming to Facebook near you soon. All right.
Have a good
Bye, guys.